All right. The beginning of the end's beginning continued. I had had written, whatever. I wrote this diary entry February 22nd. I will let you see it. The war is upon us. It isn't here in the United States yet, but it is near. Armageddon of all sorts. And this may be my last chance to get a book published. This may be the last chance of normalcy. This may be the last chance for humanity to appreciate the world. This is our book of the New Kingdom and what it is meant to be. If we were to form our own heaven, how would you have it? What would we all agree on? What laws would we follow? Who would be allowed to come and stay? You have your own book to write too. Our stories will come together in the same library of the New Kingdom, but we must be honest. We cannot expect of others what we do not expect of ourselves. So I've actually been studying games, games, to understand how the world is meant to be. They are survival games of when humans actually collect the resources themselves to create, earn what they want. So you are your own boss of how you make your money and possessions. Usually, the most stressful thing about work is working for someone who doesn't appreciate you, right? Sorry, sometimes electricity and we just don't work together. Usually, the most stressful thing about work is working for someone who doesn't appreciate you, right? We're able to work for ourselves if we are able to work for ourselves and not only build our own confidence, but build up our own skills. We know we are being paid fairly because we make up our own cost, fluctuate it by our own concerns and dilemmas, and can negotiate it based on our own needs or wants. So, a long, long time ago, there was a day when the dollar became currency. That was when everything changed. That was when people started worshiping paper over God, something of little value over someone for all to value. So, I have been told to write this. I have been told to bring this. I have been told to love over hate. I have been told to trust God over all, even my own family. Yeah, that's been hard. So with this, I promise you as much truth as I know. Um, but be aware, I may not be of this world, and angels are considered extraterrestrials too. They're considered aliens. Anyhow, I will not be understood very well by all, but I'm aware that there are others out there like me. There's so many. Let me bring you into a new world. There's a time when simple coins, gems, and any tradable item goods are the currency. There's a time when land can be affordable without hidden gems or fees. There's a time when the stress of unfair trades and corrupted leaders will end. There's a time when the justice system will become righteous and not based off of greed. And there is a time when God will be worshipped more than money. So, this is the time to rejuvenate a world that we want to know. I know the warriors of the earth are out there and they have been reincarnated to help save this planet. I know some of you may be reading this and are afraid to think of yourself so highly, but you may need to start doing so. You must start doing so. You may be incarnated, that came back to help save this planet. But the job is not as stressful as we think. We can just be ourselves. By being ourselves, we're doing things right. This book is meant for the earth angels. It's meant for the demons. It's meant for the in-between as well. All are welcome into the new kingdom, but not all will stay. There will be a place on earth close to heaven, but it's not heaven. It must not be confused as heaven, because heaven's a different dimension. There will be a different type of justice system in place, and exile is the way of punishment. Death will never come to those who do wrong. Self-defense is always allowed and will never be frowned upon. It will be something that is taught at the New Kingdom. Violence is not the way, but the intelligence of protecting yourself is priceless. All right, so gardening and growing food is a must in the New Kingdom. At the New Kingdom, we shall never take more than we are given unless necessary. Like, you grow, we take what we make. If someone is sick, medicine is provided. If someone is hungry, food is provided. If someone wants to do something, entertainment is provided. If someone is tired, a bed is provided. If someone is mentally ill, a therapriest or therapriestess is provided. A therapist plus priest/priestess is a therapriest/therapriestess. So, That is where I think the term therapist came from, because we used to have priests to solve things before we just talk out our problems. We used to actually have demon hunters. Anyhow, their goal is to provide entertainment. I'm sorry. I'm creating a therapriest. This is a new area. I guess I'm creating. Their goal is to provide environmental, physical, intellectual, social, occupational, denominational, and emotional guidance. I created this theory called episode. Live each day as an episode. So instead of paying multiple people for one skill, physical, occupational, uh, priests, why not train one person with multiple skills? So we don't have to rely on so many people to get one direction of help. Episode. So this is what episode means. I love this theory because it really helped me start to love myself again. Episode, environmental. So that's improving yourself by appreciating your environment and the elements of the earth. So examples of doing something environmental is cleaning your home, going for a walk outside, gardening, forest bath, swimming, outside sports, recycling, cleaning up outside, plant a tree. So inside or outside, it's improving your environment. Physical, improve yourself by making your body stronger, simply by moving more. Exercise, go for a walk, stand, squats, whatever. You know how to do exercise, but it doesn't have to be so, Tai Chi works, yoga, like dancing. It could be fun. We don't have to go to a gym to be physical. Intellectual, improve yourself by making your brain stronger, by learning more. Examples, puzzles, books, certain games, math, reading, writing, studying, whatever. We forget to do this after we get a job as adults, and we just let our intellect just die. Social, improve yourself by understanding others more so that they can understand you more. Talking or listening to someone else, meeting a stranger, calling or whatever. But social, notice, talking or listening to someone, meeting a stranger, calling a friend or family loved one, in-person hangouts, chat rooms. I might have to delete that one because I'm talking about eye to eye, real socializing, not the texting, not the Facebook. I'll move on. Occupational, improve yourself by knowing what you want to do to survive in this economy. This is like 90% of people's goals now. They focus on the occupational and forget the rest of the episode. So example, jobs, trades, and skills that can earn money. It's money-based. Occupational is money-based. But it can also mean education and training, types of skills, discovering passions, personality tests, psychology tests. It can mean improving yourself by knowing what you want to do to survive in this economy. So just since we are so money-based, it doesn't mean you have to study money-based things for your occupational area. You could do sewing or gardening, and that would consider to be occupational. Denominational. Improve yourself by knowing God is protecting you through any religion. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Spiritual studies, world religions, prayer, meditation, self-improvement, testimonies, journaling, dreams, visions, psychics. Here goes my phone again. Seers, prophets, angels, messages, messengers, signs. Okay. All right. Calm down. Improve yourself. Emotional. Emotional is improving yourself by learning to love yourself no matter what. Examples are journal, watch a funny show, create self-joy, laughter. Emotional, laughter is the cure to a lot. So that's why I put watch a funny show. You have to feel that feeling of euphoria sometimes, like where you get those goosebumps, and that's more so denominational. When you get goosebumps more so during the denomination. Anyhow, off track. So this year I wrote February 26th of this year, just a couple days ago. All right, there's so many things I want to say, but I never know where to begin, so I think I'll start with the New World Order. There's been a spiritual world war between angels and demons for as long as humanity has been on the planet. So sometimes I think it's funny that Christianity is seen as the first religion or as the only one to be trusted and truly believed in. This thought is creating a lot of havoc and chaos, confusion, indecency, egotistical, and unbelievable behavior that I've never seen throughout all ages of man. God loves all, not just a specific religion. We got to get over ourselves. Oh, we need to get over ourselves because that's the only way to reach God. Yeah. So the only way to solve this behavior is for everyone to have an open mind. Not everyone is born with an open mind though. Believe like well, we actually maybe I should take that back. I think we're born with an open mind, but we are like taught to not have such an open mind. But either way, it's also a skill that needs to be taught. Like you're taught that from your parents, I think. I don't know. People think that personality is set in stone and that change can never occur, but I dare tell thee different. The beginning of when our behavior forms is usually in childhood. We are taught certain things in school by parents and by the environment around us. What we don't always know, though, is that we can change the behavior we saw at a young age or seen at a young age and grow from it, learn from it, evolve from it. So, what I want to see more is a place that is welcoming to all types of culture, people, animals, and nature. We got to just be welcoming. That's all. That's all. There's a new hate forming based on the love of money, which we have not had to deal with in the past lifetimes or timelines. This is like an all-time high of money worship. It is hard for a lot of humans to try to fit in because they are all so different, and some think that they're better than others. So we are all beautiful and unique, though. It'd be boring or pretty intimidating to have a bunch of yous. A bunch of yous running around, wouldn't it? Like, can you imagine? If they only knew that we all came from the same place and that we're all family. But there's sometimes, like everybody deals with it, there's always some side of the family that we need to be weary of. Every single family, you usually have that one individual. Maybe most. Some families are lucky and perfect, and they don't have any bad like troubled individuals. Anyhow, I think we need to decide the proper side to be on. There are only two sides, basically, angelic or demonic. There's not much of an in-between. If there is an in-between, like where you're perfectly balanced in sin and virtue, which seems like impossible to me, I don't know. But if you're perfectly balanced in sin and virtue, then you're just a human, like just a human, and your slate is still so balanced. We don't know whether you're gonna be an angel or demon yet, and so it's just, anyhow, it's not about like, it's not about like weighing sins versus virtues to see like who's angel or demon. It's more about like lifetimes, the souls, and the stories of how you got to where you are, and are you willing to change? Anyhow, basically, if you're willing to change, that makes you an angel. If you're willing to change for the better, that's an angel. If you're willing to change for the worse, that's a demon. So, I mean, it can, one day someone can be an angel and they turn into a demon the next day. You can never tell. It's not set in stone. Anyhow, it's important for us to know that there are different types of people, to the point of where we can almost see each other as different species, because all came from a different species animal, but we all evolved into human. All right, this is about to get really complicated. Evolution is a part of God's plan. So, I don't know everything, obviously. I don't understand. And that's why I'm trying to look into things. Like, I don't understand the story of angels and demons, but I know that they exist. And I know that there's something called earth angels, that people can be reincarnated as angels or demons, but it's something I'm looking into. I have no idea. But anyhow, let's go into the mythical world. So, yes, mermaids, they may be real. Because they were part of the evolutionary process. The ape went into the water instead of staying on land. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. They grew a fishtail instead of longer legs like a human. That is how evolution would create mermaids. Unicorns could be somehow real too. Don't laugh at me, but I haven't figured that out yet. They usually have wings and would be named a Pegasus. Like, as you'd call a horse, we had Pegasuses. Again, Pegasus is Pegasi are extinct now, but are commonly used by angels. Though Pegasus is not needed for their travels. Back on track. Let's go back on track. I don't want to appear crazy before you start to believe me. Sometimes we will never know where we came from. Sometimes we're not supposed to know. It would be very distracting to have memory of all your past lives while you're trying to live your current life, but that doesn't mean God isn't real. Sometimes God gives us pieces of our past lives and our dreams, sometimes the future of our current life too. So it can get very confusing deciphering these things. Like, I don't even know. You know? We aren't meant to be given the full picture, and anyone who tries to tell you that they have the full picture is lying. So that's why I have an issue with a lot of these religions. If they all say that they're 100% correct, then they are 100% wrong. I am a Christian, but I'm not called a Christian because I believe in reincarnation. So I used to think that maybe I was Jewish because I respect Moses just as much as Jesus, because I know God always sends messengers to do his bidding and will. Then I think I might be Buddhist because it matches a lot of my values and the belief in reincarnation. Now I'm looking into the Egyptian religion and the 42 laws of Maat. I don't know, relate to the 10 commandments of Moses. Like, it's weird. They basically, I want to see where the commandments truly started, and Egyptians started their own kind of commandments. So it's a never-ending cycle that's never meant to be solved. So, because the Book of Enoch was taken out of the Bible, and it explains a bit why people might have supernatural abilities. I think it's a bloodline of basically Nephilim or whatever. Anyhow, Catholics didn't want people to know that they could have supernatural abilities. Maybe they wanted to keep the secrets of that power to themselves. A lot of religions don't want you knowing about it, and they call it witchcraft and evil and stuff, but it depends on how you're using that ability. You can't use it for bad, then you're evil, you know? Anyhow, if the world is over billions of years old, then wouldn't you want to know what each religion was/is and the history of your lifetime to truly find out your soul's purpose? Like, so many people just hop into the first religion that they learn about. Your soul's purpose usually doesn't change, and that's where angels and demons come from. You either are fighting for God or against God, or maybe it's just blissfully unaware, like how humans are meant to be. The angels keep tallies of the behaviors, and God tells them how to handle it, basically, while the demons try to get those bad tally ones and keep them on their side, basically, and help keep them in power on earth if they know they're on their side. Anything or anyone bad can redeem themselves, and that's a secret that should not be kept, but it is. It should not be kept any longer. Forgiveness is a human right. It's a human right, because God does it daily. God just wants us to love each other. God just wants love. Forgiveness is a human right. Let me repeat that. The souls that reincarnate and try to bring good to this earth, we would call those angels, but more so earth angels because they are on earth. On the other side of the stake, there are souls that reincarnate to create chaos as if it's their sole purpose throughout all these lifetimes. If so, then they're a demon. They would not be called earth demons because demons, they only are allowed on earth, so they're not allowed in heaven. So they're just called demons. They're not earth demons. They're only bound to earth. So that means if the population is increasing, then so would the breeding of demons. Insert all swear words here. We are running out of reincarnated souls to use. So God is actually using the same soul in multiple people. And that's why sometimes you'll find someone else in the world that looks exactly just like you. I don't really want to talk about this, but some call them doppelgangers. Don't worry, the government's ability to clone is not that advanced yet. And God will make sure it never is. There's a chance you may meet many soulmates and not just one, so that's the good news. But the same demon soul can also lie in multiple people. If you feel like someone is acting demonic and similar to someone else you knew, that might be why, or even an animal might seem possessed for some reason. Demons can jump and possess the ones you love. That's why forgiveness is important. It may not even been them at the time, during those harsh moments or words. It's the overall personality you got to look at. So God holds the souls, but what does the government hold? Just money. They only got their money. So no, they can never make real humans out of money. You need a soul. Those would be droids, clones of humans without souls, but those are the future concerns. Droids can look human, but are secretly metallic underneath. Government use only. Droids cannot bleed, but don't try to make them bleed. That would end badly. The government may try to create bleeding drones for when people begin to catch on. Human droids existing is questionable and is a fate that can change, so don't worry. I don't really want to talk about it. I really don't, because it bothers me a lot. We may be heading that direction, but it can always be stopped. I only know certain things. I only know certain things I know because God told me so. I'm not special. We can all communicate with the divine world using our third eye. You have one too. We all do. So how did God tell me all this, huh? Well, I've done hours, days, weeks, and years of research using God's guidance and miraculous daily signs each day. It seems like what God has told me seems becoming true, and that we may be upon the time of revelations. But it's not just an instant process. It could take 1,000 years or more. So all these government officials are preparing for climate change issues, and they know the severity of the truth, when the weather apps and weather stations have not even caught on to the real degrees of the earth. We're getting told like it's 50 degrees of a high today. It's going to hit actually 60, things like that. So how can we trust the government anymore? Oh, and they're good. I don't even want to go into the spaceships and bunkers that they're preparing for themselves. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I talk about it in this. So how can we trust the government anymore if they can't even be honest about our weather? Something so simple. Usually what Americans would do when they start their day is they turn on their weather station or news to see what kind of outfit they should wear or what time of day to leave, whatever, or what time to leave that day. Our brains are intertwined and so reliant on technology that no wonder why people think we're in the Matrix. Breathe. Usually every day is started by trust in the government. Usually every day we work for the government with that trust. Usually every day we feel safe because we trust and work for the government. What if I told you the government can't be trusted anymore? It's not safe, not worth the work, and definitely not worth the trust anymore. So how should we handle this situation? Well, what if I told you the government was never to be trusted? What if I told you technology is a way to track us? What if I told you the New World Order is real and God's biggest enemy? What if I told you that the government's plan to lessen population using the word sustainable in their new agendas as if they're doing the right thing for the earth, instead of being honest and making less money for themselves? What if I told you that inflation is not only due to climate change, but because the rich and aware are stocking up resources for themselves? What if I told you that only God can be trusted? For even I can be wrong. What if I told you that all the data in our Wi-Fi technologies can be tapped into by a police program called Stingray that is now advanced and able to use in planes and can be observed by government at any time? What if I told you they are using this data to try and stop people from fulfilling God's wishes, also known as lessening government's corrupted power? We work for a reason, For the government, we work for them for a reason. It keeps us distracted. It keeps us distracted from the magical versions of ourselves. Typo. It keeps us distracted from the magical versions of ourselves. We must conform to survive? That's basically what's happening. What would you think then? Yeah, I'm angry. You should be angry too. Cover your cameras with stickers. Flick out those random streetlight cameras. Are they truly helping us, or are they just playing God? Showing wrath in the right direction is not a sin. God does it daily. It's how you show that wrath and in what way. So you could be taken seriously. I wanted to swear so much while reading this, but if I swear, I'm not taken seriously as much. So forgiveness comes to those who deserve it, and we let things go for our own benefit. That's not a question. Forgiveness comes to those who deserve it. And we seem to let things go, and we let things go for our own benefit. But some things, some things cannot be forgiven. I can't even write a book without fearing for my life. If I did at a young age, if I die, wow, I thought I took this out. If I die at a young age, you will know the truth of what happened, and my notes of PBG will have to go to you all to be built and continued on. but God is going to protect us. I truly believe that, so I know it. I thought I took that out. Sorry. This is not just my legacy, though. It is our legacy. We all have to be heard. I dare not say I know it all. I try to stay open to all possibilities and changes through adaptations and evolution of human history. But there are some things unacceptable, though. Let me explain something to you. A quick side note again. Angels and demons pretending to be a human is a process in itself. They will quickly be labeled with mental disorders or be put on pills around the ages of 16 to 17 when the awakening truly begins. Usually, demons are diagnosed with sociopathy? Whatever. Narcissism, multi-personality disorders, etc. Any and all disorders that mean bad behavior seen. Usually that's like possible demons. Usually angels are diagnosed with depression, anxiety, dependent type of personality disorders, oversensitive mental disorders such as autism, and more. Any and all disorders that show high empathy and sensitivity sensitivity are possible angels. Basically, high sensitivity and empathy are major signs of an angel. All right, calm down, Katie. And lack of sensitivity, sensitivity. Oh God, sensitivity and empathy are major signs of a demon. Sorry, but it's a lifestyle scene, not just a moment of their life. I can't. Sensitivity. Anyhow, it's personality based, not reactive based. Anyone can react or act, but the soul, I lost myself, but the soul stays the same, okay? So more about the spiritual awakening. We usually feel something at a young age, but we notice it more as teens. You may have felt attacked by a demon, and they just call it sleep paralysis now. You were around the age 5 or younger, and you might have said you had a monster in your room. Parents say, there's no such thing as monster, whatever. Kids and animals have their third eye open, and they usually, kids are taught to stop it. So, side note, panic attacks can be mistaken as demon attacks, but also a spiritual awakening. When you get goosebumps, usually your body is cold, but the feeling is good. But when you start getting a real panic attack, it feels like your body's like feels heat. And that's when I say real because people are like, I'm having a panic attack. And they're just using it for their own benefit when they're not actually going through the symptoms. That aggravates me. But your body will feel heat, and that's when you decide when your heart will go. Like, do you want to scare yourself and make your heart beat quicker? Or do you realize that you may be getting visited by a spirit or something just maybe that you can't explain? Say a prayer. Did it go away? You know, if it's either way, panic attacks they're just coming from our own head. The heart and breathing stay stable. It's the brain freaking out that makes our heart pound. So we don't need to be scaring ourselves so much, but we also need to be aware that the spiritual world is real and that God is stronger than all of it combined, for God is creator. It's our brain freaking out, and that's what causes panic attacks. The warmth feeling of the feeling of that, the thing of the prior, when you feel like a panic attack is coming on, that might be just a spirit visiting you or giving you a hug. But what if I told you that you never need to have a panic attack again just by knowing you can stop it, that fight or flight reflex kicking in when it's unwanted? It'd be a different world now, wouldn't it? Like, you could tell yourself, I'm just scaring myself, and the panic attack goes away. There are current cures to many things without the need of doctors, but you can find books everywhere on that. So I want to discuss the possible unknown truth. So there's a time machine that supposedly cures cancer by vibrating the cells back into proper place. It's called the Rife machine, but he was killed. The machine has a 90% success rate of ridding cancer cells. The pharmacy was just getting started at the time, and his machine would have prevented them from making a lot of money. So it's hard to find the real articles about Rife now, but his machine is currently being sold for thousands of dollars. So apparently it's good at something. It may not be the real machine that Rife created, though. They're not going to let people just cure cancers themselves now they know how the machine works. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being cynical. Even if these geniuses are killed, the government has no idea that God just sends them back again. He's always one step ahead, or she, whatever. When will they learn? Money has blinded their sight, their way of thinking, and hence their morals too. But we are back, baby. We're always back. Sorry. There are stories of angels versus demons for a reason. That's definitely not a myth. It's possible that The Da Vinci Code, The Simpsons, Back to the Future, Stranger Things, and many other shows, movies, other works of arts, whatever, they've been created the same way that I've been creating my art, by the dreams we have and by what God is telling us is true. So you can do it too.